Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of the Tactical Tauntaun, where we discuss X-Wing miniatures, Star Wars Rebellion, Destiny, and all things in the Star Wars universe. I'm Patrick, and as always with me, Will, waving at you guys off camera. And today we have an interview with Dan Larocco. Dan is the guy who created that really cool Tauntaun with the Rebel helmet, so we appreciate that. And
it's fun to do.
Yeah, and thank you for letting us use that because it's really cool. Just want to talk a little bit about. I know you came here to North Carolina from Delaware.
Almost exactly a year ago. Yeah,
right. Now, are you originally from Delaware? Is that where you grew up?
Yeah, I grew up right on the Delaware-Pennsylvania line. Went to school in Delaware. Went to the University of Delaware. But my wife got a really great job offer down here, and we were sick of mean people in the north, so here we are.
Well, and we really wish that she liked X-Wing because she's a lot cooler than Dan anyway. So.
Yeah, she's the Eurogamer.
Yes, she is. So cool, and we're glad you got here. Dan's the guy that kind of got me into X-Wing. We play a lot of board games together, and I showed him. He saw that I had that and said, "Yeah, I ought to come out and play." So came out, tried it out. Didn't like it at first, but Dan worked me a little bit and kind of made it so
it's
now
a steep learning curve. You show up with B wings, and all of a sudden you're gonna have a really bad time.
Yeah, it can be bad when you just don't have the stuff you need to make the list. But it was a good time, and I'm glad I stuck with it because it's one of my favorite things to do.
Great game, great community. Yeah,
absolutely. So let's talk about your list. You call it Han and Friends. Han and Friends.
I guess I should say it's Han and Friends and 3PO because I really don't think Han would call 3PO a friend, but Han and Friends works.
You need to talk to the Falcon and see what's wrong with the hyperdrive, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So, let's talk a little bit about the development of that list. Is this something that you started toying around with, and it just and pieces came in and out, or is this something you just said bam and put it out there?
No, it had a long development. I like the Falcon. My favorite list is actually Poe Ray. It's fun. It's not top tier, but I love flying it.
Sure.
This list came about because I was talking to Alvin, one of the other 336 Tauntauns, and we were talking about how expertise with Gunner really just brings back the potential for Fat Han. And with Lowrick as a wingman, Fat Han can last a lot longer. So
sure.
We were talking about that. We were kind of toying with some ideas, and I've seen Han Lowrick with Push the Limit Lowrick, where you have Kanan, the ability to give Lowrick that focus and the reinforce every round.
Yep.
So he can still do his white maneuvers, but I didn't like that. It was too costly, and I really wanted selflessness with Chewbacca, which is kind of the core of this list.
Sure, because that just lets you mitigate a lot of damage going to Han and to Lowrick as well.
It gives me so many options for dice manipulation. So if I get that one damage that would get through, I can spend the evade. I could use 3PO. I could use Lowrick's reinforce. But if he gets me with like a cruise missile, 5 dice, everything coming through, I pop selflessness. All the damage that's not a crit goes to Chewbacca or goes to Lowrick. Shields all go away. If one goes to the hull, I pop Chewie. All of a sudden, that cruise missile has taken 2 shields off Lowrick instead of 5 damage on Han.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for me playing against that list, and I've played against it a lot of times. It's like I've come so close to beating it, but it's so frustrating because you'll roll a perfect roll. I know I put like 5 into you with Finn Rao one time, and I got 1 shield. I'm like, really?
Yep.
It's frustrating to play against because of the damage mitigation, but it's what an amazing list. I mean, I think you did a great job at designing that.
A lot of the credit goes to Alvin. He was the one who said, throw a Ray on there. Because I wanted a way to give Lowrick a little bit of punch, but a cheap way, because I didn't want to go the push the limit route. And he said, throw a Ray on. So I do the slow burn in the beginning, give him a little bit of focus tokens, and that kind of lets him be a little more useful as offense.
I get that. Yeah. So, when you're flying this, just kind of describe to me a typical match. What is your goal in flying? How do you want to fly this thing?
My goal, against another kind of 60-40 split list, it's not as important because I'm only going to get shot twice. So my hijinks can kind of protect me for that. Against a list like you were running with TLTs, I've got to be careful in the early rounds. So just like we did, I would do a couple 1-straights, build up those focus tokens. But once you commit, I turn. Once you turn, I turn the other way. and I really had to get to where I was only eating 1, maybe 2 TLT ships in the first round of firing.
Yep. It's a little cat and mouse with that way.
It's a slow beginning. You have to be patient.
So you're gonna slow roll, build up focus tokens, and then start coming in and making your assault that way.
Exactly.
And trying to maintain that formation, keeping Lowrick at range 1 so that you can use that reinforced token if need be.
And you know the Lowrick having that 3 turn actually makes a big difference because I'm able to turn past Han. And then Han does the 2 turn, and boom, we're still in formation. So if he just had a 2 turn, it would be a little more difficult.
And so that, guys, that's all about learning how to fly, putting those maneuver dials down and practicing this stuff. You know, it just doesn't. It's not something that you just instinctively understand. You've got to put those templates down. You got to figure it out. You know what you want to do. I know when I set my ships up, I sat there and toyed around. I put them where I want them to be after the first move, and then I put maneuver dials behind them to see what the best maneuver was for my opening.
Oh, yeah, you got to be able to know if I set up here and they set up there. Okay, I do the 2 turn, do this, and blah blah blah. So you've got to have a plan for where the opponent sets up.
How important is your rock placement with this list? Or do you care?
It's important in that I have to break up enemy formations if they run swarm like a TLT list. I had to get one of your Y-wings behind a rock to where you were too far away to shoot. That I had to get you past the rocks.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. How do you fly against this list? How does one go about flying against your list? What do they
TLT
need to do?
is good. You have to pick a target. It's tough to take Lowrick off the board because that reinforce makes it really frustrating to shoot him. But if you can get him off the board, Han goes down faster. But if you're running 30 points and you trade that 30 points for Lowrick, that's a rough trade because Han is still slippery. He still has engine upgrade.
Yep.
I can't take the evade and the boost. But
I feel like going after Han is the right decision.
I think so. It's a little tough if you have less maneuverable ships like the Y-wing because Lowrick might be able to still shoot the Y-wings most rounds.
Well, and it's also advantageous to get him behind Lowrick because he has no K-turn. You just once you start following Lowrick, I mean, if you've not Han on board and you get behind Lowrick, the game's over, right?
Yeah. Vectored thrusters does help a little bit. Because I can do that 2-turn barrel roll backwards and maybe force the bump.
Or maybe get them to fly by you.
Yeah. So there are some options, but if Han's dead and you still have 2 or 3 ships, even if they're wounded, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Right. Okay.
Another big weakness is stress control. So anyone who can stress Han, that disengages expertise. I just have gunner, so I've got my 2 rolls in Han, and I take what I can get.
Yeah.
So
So anything kind of stress control. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the lists. I guess you don't want to fly against TLT lists, big 4-ship lists, or anything that's going to be a stress bot.
Asajj, Rebel Captive, any of that stuff's rough.
Okay. Cool. Just so y'all know that every time we finish playing Dan and lose, we always say what?
We hate Dan.
Yeah, we hate Dan. Not really. We love Dan. It's just fun to say. It's kind of like the soup Nazi. No soup for you. So, wow, I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah,
spend a little time with us, and hopefully we can get you back on here in a month or 2 and fly something else.
Yeah.
I guess we want to end this with the big 4 questions. So, Dan, who is your favorite Star Wars character? It doesn't have to be a main character. It can be anybody.
You know, I'm such a smartass. I love Han. I know that's the easy answer, but especially in Empire, he's just so smug and just.
I love him.
Yeah, he's too funny. So I love that comic relief.
Sure, that's great. When it comes to the Star Wars films, what is your favorite film?
You know, it's tough. I like Empire because it's the darkest. It's got great character development, but A New Hope is just so fun, and it just combines all these genres together.
But if you had to pick one,
you know, I might go with A New Hope just because if I'm only going to watch one and stop, I don't want to watch Empire without watching Jedi. So by itself,
I understand.
A New Hope's a little better.
Because you can't just end. I mean, because it ends on such a downer.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, Luke gets his hand cut off, finds out Vader's his father, and then Han gets taken away by Boba Fett.
Oh, great! You spoiled it for everybody.
Damn. You know, one of my all-time favorite Simpsons episodes is they do this flashback, and he's coming out of the Empire Strikes Back, and there's like 100 people in line. He goes, "I can't believe Luke is Darth Vader is Luke's father." So awesome. All right, third question is, what is your favorite book, non-Star Wars.
All right, non-Star Wars. So I'm gonna go obscure on this one. There's a book called Ghost Rider. It has nothing to do with the Ghost Rider comic book character. It's written
There's
by
no other Ghost Rider. What are you talking about? What
It's-
nonsense is this?
It's a travel journal kind of written by the drummer from Rush. It's really
Oh,
obscure. Really, it's a good book.
The
It's
first
kind of,
drummer or Neil Peart?
you'll hear, yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Did you know there was a drummer before
oh
Neil
yeah,
Peart? Okay.
Working Man had some good drums too, but Neil Peart's best drummer of all time.
Absolutely.
And
I
his
agree.
book, he went through some personal tragedies, and Ghost Rider is about how he went on a road trip to kind of re-find himself and cope with his loss. So it's a really good book.
Maybe you would enjoy Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Yeah,
If you
probably
haven't read it.
similar. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
might enjoy that. I have a copy if you ever want to borrow it.
part of it. Yeah.
And then the last one is who is your favorite actor or actress?
So I know this is going to be rough to say on a Star Wars themed show, but gotta love Patrick Stewart. Dude can
Hey, man.
do comedy, can do drama. You know, best captain.
Dude, he was-
Gotta say he's the best captain.
He was in and he was in Dune, man. He was cool. Like
He was an Excalibur.
he was an Excalibur. That's right. You know, holy
And he
crap!
narrated Ted, so I mean he's done it all.
Awesome. Guys, we really appreciate you watching our videos. Like us on Facebook, share our videos, subscribe to our channel. Will, anything else?
Straighten up.
Fly right.